Chumyam,
Hello, Buddha.
unjani?
Ndisharp rhodi wena.
Ndi-right.
Botsha.
Ndifuna uqala ngento esimple.
Thetha bhuti.
Kubani uZu?
uZu, mother of lions.
Ewe.
Mama wengonyama.
Khalisi.
Uyayiva ngo-Dracarys. Imvumi. Ngumntu onothando. I'm a storyteller. I'm a healer. I think I'm ready to own that. Ndingumntu wabantu. Ndingumntu onothando. Ndingulisa ndingijambasa. I'm a light. Yeah. Where I am, there's light and laughter. Ndakuthanda uhleka. Yeah. That's who Zu is.
There's something that I've learned about people like that. You know, people that take joy in bringing joy to others usually have a locus of sadness.
Ndifuna undilisa maswena ngoku.
Aye.
No, it's true. I think that people who feel deeply have felt deep things. And so it's our nature to feel and to also make people feel seen and heard and understood, to hold space, as they say, because uyayazi, you recognize, feeling, and pain and joy, and the balance of feeling is all those things. Xa ungumntu ovanzulu, you feel all the things deeply, the pain, the joy, the laughter. It's the people whose eyes disappear when they're laughing, the people whose eyes swell when they're crying. So I do not disagree with you at all. Yeah, I've felt my fair share of pain.
But how do you balance that in trying to create something to bring joy
By feeling.
some comfort to people?
By feeling.
By feeling it.
By being dinepura ya feeling. And I'm very articulate in feelings. I do not shy away from my feelings, all of them. If I like someone, I'll tell them. If I don't like someone, I'll distance myself. You don't necessarily need to tell them that. But if I'm sad, I'll sit and I'll cry. If I coach a bunch of kids, if something they've said has touched me, like the other day they were singing a song so beautifully, I cried. I'm big on leaking before we burst. And sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad, but we must feel our feelings, all of them.
What brought you to that point that demands that you feel your feelings? Is there a point where you burst at some point, or is it always been something?
So my algorithm is full of deep things right now, and I saw a video recently that says pain travels through generations until someone's ready to feel it. I think I was created to feel generational pain. I feel it. I know that my mom was going through some stuff when she had me in her belly. I carry it, So I've lived with depression for longer than, I can remember. Since I was 9, Nine. Even before, because there's some things in my memory that really cut me, that don't go away. Those memories don't go away. So I'm aware that my sadness is old, and there's a point where you feel it so much and you feel it so deeply that you can either disappear into it or get to know it, So as someone who's lived with depression my entire life, and I've tried to unalive myself a couple of times as well, So you kind of reach a point where you have to have an honest conversation with yourself. What's wrong? Why are you in so much pain? What's hurting you? Because if you don't have that conversation with yourself, then you end up becoming the pain. And it's easy to become the pain. Like I was telling the kids that when you sit in the dark for too long and then you switch the lights on, you do this. Because the light is harsh. It's easier to sit in the dark, right? So I didn't like feeling the way I felt. I didn't like who I was. There's a point where I lost a friendship and I had to sit with myself and ask myself, why did she leave me? I loved her, she loved me. Why doesn't she want to be my friend anymore? And I was like, you're toxic as fuck. You're dark. You seem to enjoy being the victim. I used to be so messy. I'd project and I was angry. I had so many unresolved feelings. So I had to sit. I was like, I don't like this. I don't like what it feels like to be me, you know? So, yeah, I think if you are honest enough with yourself, you get to a point where you have to unpack and then pack it up nicely, you know? And then what doesn't fit, you throw away or you give away or you burn, whatever. But, like, sort your shit out.
Is that unpacking the fuel behind one of my favorite songs by you?
Which is what?
Aha moment.
Absolutely. So the aha moment comes to me during COVID. I'm doing this thing called Music Monday, where I get litty on a Sunday, and then Monday, whatever came from that, I share on my pages, you know. And it was in a time where artists couldn't perform. The country was shut down. The world was dying. We were dying. We didn't know what was going on. We were afraid, you know. I was in a deep depression. I was struggling with postpartum depression. So the postpartum and the depression were like, hey, friend, how you doing? And then they were both sitting here, and I was like, I need to do something. And fortunately, it was at a time where I'd already realized why music is my medicine. You know, I'd already gotten past that realization. So I knew the more you sing, the more you heal. The more you sing, the more you purge. You know, that leak before you burst is not just tears, it's also singing for me, you know. So I'm at home, I'm sad, baby daddy's doing the things, doing the most. And it's like, is it something I've done? Have I shown you a side to me you didn't want to see? Oh, rescue me. This booze ngawe. Ah, kakuchonila kebusuku. Aha. You know? And that's what it is. For a while, it just sits there and it's painful. You know, you think that the person cooking the thing doesn't think, wow, this is delicious. No. I sit there and I'm like, yo, see? Hey, you go, mama. Like, you know? And so I sit with that song, and then eventually, you know, we're out of COVID, and we're here now, and I'm like, yo, this thing of giving you guys Music Monday, you are just taking from me, and like nothing's coming from it. So then I'm like, excuse me, let's go back to these ideas. There are gems here, you know? And I sit with the ideas, and I sit with the song, and I start writing it, and I start unpacking, you know, because even though I'm very well versed in feeling, sometimes I just want to feel and zap. Can't feel the whole thing. You'll get too caught up in it, you know. Just leak a little bit before you burst, you know. So then now I'm coming back and I'm like, okay, let's sit with these feelings now that we can have them here and not so much here, you know. Because when the feelings are here, sometimes you can't think, you can't like, you know. So now that I know what the feeling is, I've seen it, I've put it away, now I've pulled it back out. Let's unpack it. So yeah, it is unpacking that gives us the aha moment, and then gives us tones of epiphany, because we want the aha moment slow, and then we want it fast, and up here and down here, and let's unpack it, you know. And even as far as saying on my status updates on WhatsApp, I'm like, yo, let's have some voice notes about loss and grief, you know. And 2 people volunteer themselves, like, yo, I'll do it. I'll give you something about pain and loss and grief, you know. And that's what we have. We have Mutinta and Christy on this project talking about different kinds of loss and different kinds of grief, you know, the ones talking about losing a friend and the ones talking about losing someone to death, you know. And I was talking about all kinds of loss and grief, but it is exactly that, unpacking it, unpacking the pain, unpacking the grief, unpacking the hurt, the anger even, you know. And even unpacking, you know, when you lose someone, you lose a part of yourself, you know. So that's exactly what the aha moment was.
And where are you in those moments of reflection, and who are you in those moments?
Like during?
Yeah.
I'm a vessel. So I like to think that I'm a messenger, and sometimes the messages are for me, and then you just get to, you know, reap the rewards of my, you know, opening myself up to that. But it does always feel like an out-of-body experience, in a sense that when I recorded the aha moment in June last year, we went into studio, we did it. Even in studio, there are parts of the songs that I didn't go to studio with. I received them in studio. You know, there's a part in the song that's called The Aha Moment, which is initially 86 BPM because they're all named according to their tempos. There's a section there at the end where I call them the mountain girls. Those girls, I don't know where those girls came from, but I received them and I hosted them. So you understand, right? You know, so I received those girls, and when I listen to them, they haunt me. That's me singing, like it was me, my mouth, my voice, but they haunt me. They are new every time. It's a portal for me because I bob shagan bam. You know, I'm literally receiving vibes, messages, lessons, you know. So who am I in that moment? I'm a tool. I'm a portal. You know, I'm a gateway between wherever these things are coming from and us here in the flesh.
And how do you contend with that realization, being the daughter of a pastor?
Takes a sip.